This is your boy Elzenitho. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bear with me, I'm currently having sore throat, so I won't be able to talk too much. I said too much. You get my point. So yeah, today we are going to replicate this, but not necessarily this, right? So we're going to do something similar to this. And since it's coffee based, right, I decided to go with a popular brand called Nescafe. And yeah, so we're going to be using Nescafe as a case study for our design. So I went online and I downloaded this. I could not really get a particular label to use, right? So I figured we could just work with anything we have. Then also I went to what's it called, Envanto, to download a mock-up of a paper cup, right? So yeah, we're going to be using this particular mock-up. So let's just jump straight into it. So this is the mock-up we're going to be using, and the first thing you want to do is, any mock-up you download, definitely the first thing you want to do is look for the point that says edit design. So I just double click on that. Then I would bring in the flyer. I'm going to just enlarge it. So let's just enlarge it till we are satisfied with what it looks like. So yeah, I think this works. All right, so let's see how it turns out. Okay, this really looks cool. Yeah, this looks cool, but I want to do something. Let me see if I can make it slightly red. No, it's not really feeling the vibe. Let's see if we can add some bits of curves to it. All right, let's just work with this. Right, so for the cover, right, the top cover, I'm going to make it red because that's like the signature color. So this red, not too red, so yeah, something like this works. Right. All right, so the first thing I want to do is create a new canvas. The width, let's give it 4,000. The height, let's give it 5,000. We're going to call it just white. So let's call this Nescafe poster. All right, so what we're going to do is this: we're going to bring in the design. So to bring in the design, to make it a singular object or a singular image, just press Ctrl Shift Alt E to convert it to a singular object. But the problem is now it has this background going on, and we don't want background. So let's go back. Right, so if you turn off the background, you can see that we do not have the background. So what we can do is just select everything, Ctrl G and Ctrl J to duplicate it, turn off one, and merge this. So now it is a singular object. Then bring the shadow up. Now select the shadow, hold Ctrl, select the object, and right click and press link layers, right? Because anywhere the cup goes to, you want the shadow to follow. So then bring it into our poster like this. I'm going to just reduce the size like this. Just a very simple poster design. So yeah, we have this like this, and if you can see, the background is brown. It has this brown vibe as usual because it's what's it called, it's coffee. So before we continue, let's quickly go to this place and just download some coffee some coffee elements. So this particular poster, you see that the coffee, and I think is that blackberry or something, I don't know, a kind of fruit, right? They are all joined together into to form this kind of like environment around the cup, but I don't want that. I mean, it looks too choky, so I want mine to just fly around. So I need, yeah, something like this. This actually works, but let's see if we can get something better. By the way, I'm using PNG Wing, one of my favorite sites. Okay, since I can't get a particular one, I'll just download this one. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So I'll download this one. 7B TG. And we also need, what do we need again? What else do you think we can put there? What else do you think we can put? I'm looking at it. What else can we put? Probably bread. Bread and coffee. Does that sound okay? Okay, let's look for coffee splash. So we can see if we can introduce some form of like liquid around it. Something like this. Exactly, something like this works. Although this looks more milky than coffee. So H43C. All right, what else can we? I love this. I don't know. Okay, this looks nice. This looks really nice. Let's download this. This looks very beautiful actually. Looks very beautiful, but the moment we introduce it here, it becomes too it becomes too like rowdy, right? So we want it to be very, very minimal and simple. So yeah, let's just work with what we have. If we need any other thing, we'll come back, right? So the first thing I want to do is just bring this in, right, as usual, and I'm going to enlarge it. But first, before I enlarge it, I need to change the background, right? So bring in a new solid, but select the background. All right. We're going to work with what we have. Let's see if we can use. No. All right, this works. So yeah, for the shadow, right, now we can even unlink the two layers, right? Because again, this one would be going a bit up, as we can see here, while this shadow would be coming down, you know, like this. Just as you can see here, you can see that the distance between the shadow and the cup is quite much. Yeah. So for the shadow, you'll see that the shadow is not really blending well, right? So it's because we're currently using the blending option normal. So we can just use multiply. Now it is better. Unlike normal, you can see the difference between normal and multiply, right? So normal is better. Yeah. And if you want to duplicate, you can press Ctrl J to duplicate and make it slightly darker, and then reduce it slightly. So yeah, now this is our, what's it called, our coffee bean. Now the distance between all the coffee bean is too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select them one by one. So this one first, I'll call it 1. This one next. Bless me. I'll call it 2. Then the one in the center, I'll call it 3. So we can then turn off this. We can even delete it. So number 1 is going to be very large, like pretty large. Yeah, somewhere like this. And you can see our coffee looks really low quality. But yeah, let's just work with what we have for now. Number two, is quite number two is quite rowdy, so I'm going to just remove some certain things. For example, let me remove this one. Then for this number two, I need this particular one. Control J. Then I'm going to bring it here. Something like this works. Then for number three, I'm going to just increase it slightly and put it to the back. Yeah, something like this. Let's see number one. Okay. All right. You can bring it down slightly. All right. So we can introduce a new layer and call it light, and just select the color and make it the lighter version, and just take your brush, increase the size and dab just like this. So you know that light effect would always give it this kind of like 3D vibe, right? And too much is not good, but you get the vibe. So yeah, something like this works. Then we can also create a new layer and call it shadow, right? And also select the layer, bring it down, and then play around the shadow parts, that's the edges. So I'm just going to dab across the edges like this. Yeah, and we're going to bring that up. Yeah. Let's see if we can. Okay. All right, so this is looking pretty cool. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. But now that I think about it, this red should have been black. Now it looks like blue band. Yeah, let's quickly edit that. Yeah, looks better now. Looks better. All right, so Control J, merge, then let's bring it in. All right, bring it in, bring it here, take away this. Okay. So what else do you want to add? Let me see. So yeah, I know there's a bit of light going on in the design, but it won't hurt to like add some form of light and shadow to the cup again. So let's see if you can add some light, some white and bright, some lightness and dark shade. So the cup, no, this is too much. Reduce the brush, just dab across. And use overlay, as you can see the difference. Then also for the shade, because the light is coming from the back, so there's no light in front, so to say. There's a general environmental light around, so but it will still, you can still include some form of shade to the front. It's going to be very subtle, but it's going to be subtle, but you get the vibe. So we're going to make it soft light, or you can even make it multiply, but you're going to bring down what's it called, the opacity and also the fill. It's not going to be too obvious. You can see the difference. Okay, now it looks more realistic, right? It looks more realistic. So the next thing we want to then do is bring in the words. It says coffee boba, so we'll just say Nescafe or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, let's find a way to go around that. So we just NES. Do I want to use this font? This font looks cool. Nes, Ctrl J, K. But the spacing here is getting out of hand, except we bring it. Okay, let's see what we can do. Select this, select this, select this, select the shadow and move it. Okay, so like I was saying, sorry, I have to excuse myself. So just, drag it like this till you're satisfied with the distance between N and the edge and E and the edge. But I think this distance works for me. All right, so let me bring this other shadow here as well. All right. Okay, so what else you want to add? You can then add in the logo. So let's quickly download the logo. Nescafe logo PNG. Go to image. Yeah, as usual, you see PNG, but it's not really PNG, right? No, this is not PNG. But we are really behind schedule, so we'll just pick what we can pick. So I'm going to just save this. So open on Photoshop. We've never added our cream and all. So to remove white background easily, just go to select, go to color range and just select white and Ctrl J. Sorry, when you select white, make sure you go to inverse, then Ctrl J. So now we have this very simple and straightforward. I'm going to just reduce this drastically. And bring it down here. So after bringing it down there, I can even multiply the logo or just make it not so obvious. I don't know. So the next thing we want to then do is this. Let's see how we can infuse. Okay, we are done with this, so let's see how we can infuse. We've not saved our work. Let's save it to Elzenitho PSD. Let's see how we can infuse this, right? I'm not sure we can, but let's see. Although I already like how it looks already. So, but sometimes it can give it some form of like nice touch to it. I don't know. If it doesn't look too good, I'll just delete it. I mean, I like what's going on. I really do like what is going on. Let's see if we can probably reduce the size, maybe it would make sense. Alright, so I think I get the issue. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to leave this as it is, right? And we're going to bring it up here again, Ctrl J. Yeah, exactly. So we are going to then use our what's it called, layer mask. Take your brush to brush out the parts that we do not need, right? So it's just like the cup is in between that splash stuff. Let's zoom in. So just check across and remove everything that needs to be removed. I don't want anything to touch this part, so let's remove all these ones. Remove all this. So yeah, I think this works, but now this is like an obstruction. So let me see. Yeah, this works, but the obstruction there is this, right? Can we do away with it? Yes, we can. Okay, what we can do is this. Let's select this. I love the way this looks, but I think it's just too big. So let's remove this third one. Right, so it's just this. Then reduce the size. Right, yeah, and reduce the size. So this works. Yeah, this works. So Nescafe, or our C is missing, right? So for our C to show, where's our cave? We're going to bring the cave just like this. Yeah. So Nescafe. Is there a phrase they like using? Let's just go to Nescafe. Don't worry, we're having enough already. Oh, I've not been using my mic. Sorry. All right. So yeah, just let's continue. Let's go to this part. We are almost done. I think we just need to add one or two things, and we are good to go. So this is the version that we are working with, or this is what we are seeing as we are replicating, so to say. But I think ours is actually better because ours is cleaner. It has breathable space. This looks like it has space, but it doesn't have space because I mean you can barely breathe around here. But ours, you can actually breathe, even if like the stuffs are scattered, you can still breathe. If you get what I mean. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's scattered, but yet it looks choked. So yeah, let me just copy this, and let's see how we can bring it somewhere here or anywhere. So we're going to work with Helvetica. I love Helvetica a lot, and we're going to reduce the size and also okay, for this I think we should just use this, and let's use the brown, the deep brown color. So I'm going to just reduce the size, increase the spacing. Then bring the layer up here. In fact, let's make it black. white even works, but we don't want it to, we don't want the emphasis to be much on that. So where's the logo? I can't find the logo. Where is the logo? Where are you? Okay, this is the logo. So bring the logo up as well. All right. So, and this is what we're able to come up with in about 20 minutes. Like, you know, but again, before we continue, again, you have to understand that light and shadow is one very important thing. Now that we have the cream coming under here, there's a need for us to infuse some form of shadow underneath it, right? So, and even some form of shadow on the cream itself. But first, let's do the one for the cup. So let's call this shade 2. Shade 2. So we're going to take our brush. As you can see, it's already clipped into the cup, right? So you can just watch as I you make it not too obvious, but you know, at least it shows that something is passing through it. So let's make it multiply, reduce the just so you know that something is going on. I mean, it's very subtle, but something is going on. So yeah, this works. This works. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to stop here for now. Then, you know, you can also put in your own just, you know, add in some form of like your own personal designs and stuff. So but before we close, I always need to bring in my logo, because I mean, you can just post this and nobody will know who did it, right? So let's bring in your representation. Where are you? Okay, just drag you here into here. Oh, it's currently, so I'm going to release clipping max. So I don't want it to be too big. Yeah, something like this is fine. And it doesn't look too white, so I want to make it pure white. I don't know why it doesn't look too white. I guess it's because of the shadow. Yeah, it's because of that shadow, this shade, right? But the shade gives it that kind of vibe. So I'm seeing a texture effect here. I don't know if it would work, but let's see what it would give us. I like it. I like texture. I don't know, I just love texture. Texture would always make your work look, or it will make it look somehow, right? It will make it look nice, kind of, but you don't want to make it too much, right? So I'm going to reduce it slightly. So yeah, this is it. Looks beautiful. Compare this to this, even though we did not get the original label, but I mean, compare this to this, you definitely know this is better because this is cleaner and better. So when you're done, just select the first layer, scroll down, hold shift, select the last layer, Control Shift Alt E for it to become one singular image. Now that it is one singular image, then you can go to filter, camera raw filter, and you can then add some other stuff, like probably add some exposure, reduce or increase the contrast. I would say you should reduce it a little bit, reduce the exposure a little bit, or increase it a little bit. You can add some lightning to it and reduce the shadow, increase white or reduce white, I don't know. Just play around with this. Just make sure it doesn't lose that feeling, right? So when you see that it's already losing the feeling, you can always use vibrance to bring it back, right? You can always use vibrance. And for effects, I'll just bring the texture down a little and increase the clarity a little, add some, I don't want the APAs to be too much. Yeah, something like this is fine. People like adding green these days. I love it too, actually. I won't lie. So yeah, green always give it this kind of nice look. I don't know, it just gives it this nice look. And you can sharpen it a little bit. So press OK. So after pressing OK, now you can see this. Now watch, I'm going to delete it because there's a mistake I made. So this particular curve, right, if you zoom in, you'll see that it is not properly it's not blending well with the background, and that's because there's something I usually do anytime I put in an element into a background. I usually blur out the edges. So just come to blur, make sure your strength is 90 above, and just blur it out to make it look like the elements or the character is actually a part of the background itself, giving it this realistic look. All right, so I'm going to just do that quickly. Yeah, so I've added that. I'm going to also add to the, what's it called, this splash as well, just so that it looks more realistic. All right, so now it looks better. If you zoom in, you might not see the difference, but it actually looks better. It looks well blended. So having done that, then you can then redo your stuff. Select the first layer, scroll down, hold shift, select the last layer, control shift alt E. Then since you have done the camera rough it already, you would sit here and just press, and automatically brings it out. So yeah, that's basically it. If you love this tutorial, give me a like, comment and subscribe as well, and I'm going to see you next time.